Yo, 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 peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, everyone. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Monday, happy Monday. It's Monday, man. It seems like the week is seems like it's been a long week already. And it's only the first day of the week, man. But happy Monday, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today is day 10 of 50. We are 1/5 of the way there. I actually want to take the glasses off tonight. All right, we are 1/5 of the way there. Day 10 of 50, 50 days of divine discipline, 50 days of an emotional roller coaster, 50 days of no food, 50 days of no sex, 50 days of finding comfort and spirit, finding comfort in reading and writing and exercising and just the gratitude of being alive. Right. Should have turned the heat off. This heat sound is gonna come up. I apologize. I'm not getting up right now to turn it off. But man, I'm feeling a lot of things today, guys. A lot of things. Went through some more self doubt a little while ago. All right, definitely went through some more self doubt, man. Some more, yeah, just more low vibes, right? More low vibes. It seems like a freaking impossible mission that I'm on. Um, for my children's situation and having to leave this crib and this fast and raising this money and all of the stuff, man, it got me like really in a funk. The last few hours, the last 2 3 hours, got me really in a freaking funk. Um, yeah, it seems like an impossible mission, right? I feel like I don't have the support that I deserve, right? Wish I had. Um, I feel like there are some people who I do things for, and they don't return the favor, and even that's not real, right? Because or it may be real, but I understand, overstand, and understand that there are some people who have done things for me, and I can never return the favor, right? So like I know that what I'm feeling is not rooted in truth, or it's not rooted in logic, right? It's rooted in feelings, right? And I know that the feelings are coming up from not eating, right? I know that, I understand that, I understand that, and I understand that, right? Um, yeah, looking online, ordering. Got to order some boxes to start really got because I really got to pack up. This is the last week, right? This is early next week, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday is the last day of the month, and I got to be fucking out, right? Um, so yeah, it's looking at boxes, looking at bags to pack clothes, and got to give all my children's clothes away because they can no longer fit them, right? All the clothes that I've had, they haven't been here in 4 years, right? I haven't spent the night with them for freaking years, right? And even that's emotional. They have a whole lot of books in there. I got to pack a whole lot of gadgets, right? Some stuff that they've outgrown, but some stuff that I'm sure they want. Their games, I'm sure they want, at least most of their games and some of their gadgets, and so having to pack all of that up is like I've never done this before, right? Honestly, like when I growing up, I lived with my mom, and then even when I lived with my granddad, I took just stuff in the bags, right? Just stuff in bags. I didn't have a lot of books, and they have a whole fucking library, right? I didn't have all of the stuff that I have now, so I was able to just fit a lot of shit in the Uber, right, or cabs back then, regular cabs, or cousin driving or somebody driving, bringing stuff from here to there. But it was quick, it was easy. It wasn't storage. I never had to use storage, right? Because I didn't have so much stuff when I was growing up. When I left prison, went to my aunt's house. I left prison with a fucking one bag, right? Went to my aunt's crib. When I left there, most of my stuff was lost. It was stolen, right? So like I went back to my mom's crib, to my mother and the sister I was dealing with at the time, back and forth. I had just a little bit of clothing, not a lot of books, a couple of books, not a lot, not a whole library, right? Not freaking 30 pair of shoes. I'm gonna give most of them away because most of them I don't wear, right? But yeah, I've never had to do this, right? Pack so many things. Think about storage. I'm looking at the storage price, and like I'm like, I don't even know what size. Like the 10 by 8 or 10 by 15 is like $400 something a month. But there's a smaller one that's $200. I'm like, I'm not packing furniture. The furniture I'm gonna give away, right? Give away or sell. I need to make a flyer. Do a yard sale. Do a spring yard sale this Saturday, right? Get rid of the shit, couches and tables, I want to keep like some of the tables. Some of the shit is really good though. So like I might keep 2 of the tables. My desk is really fucking good. Right, this is a really great desk. All right, so I'm like overwhelmed, not knowing exactly what to do. So feeling real heavy and wishing I could eat. Right, the last 2 days, I've sent Kimona more food videos in the last 2-3 days than I had in our whole relationship. Right, sending her mad food videos from Instagram to Facebook to TikTok. Right, sending mad food videos, and because that's been historically my source of comfort. Right, it's initially growing up for a long time. It was weed, it was alcohol, it was sex. Right, then it became sex, weed. Right, then it became just weed. Now is none of it. Right, food has been the last thing, and so we're cutting that out, and pushing myself to write more, to read more, to pray more, to meditate more, to breathe more, to feel, to be with the feelings. All right, to be with the feelings, knowing that feelings are not facts, knowing that times will pass, knowing that things will improve. But yeah, it just feels like an impossible mission. But I was able to, right, through laying with Kimona and talking about it, and was able to get back to the other side, right? Like impossible mission, I'm possible. I've done hard things before, right? There are other people in the history of the world who have done seemingly impossible things, right, on so many different levels, right? I know that the divine spirit, source energy, God is in me, God is with me. I know that I would not have the mission, I would not have the vision and be on this mission if it was not God ordained. This is not something that I chose. I would not consciously choose to do this shit, right? To fast for 50 days and say we're gonna raise $50 million when I've never even raised $100,000. I've never raised $50,000, right? What the fuck makes me think jump out the window? I would never do this shit, right? But like audacity, gotta have the fucking audacity, and like it's divine, it's God. So, but I'm wrestling with that right now, right? I was wrestling with that earlier. I'm feeling a little better now as I'm speaking, as I spoke before to Kimona. But yeah, man, just a lot of feelings, and this what comes up, man. Every fast is different, but every fast includes feelings. When you sacrifice that which is your comfort, those things that which you find comfort in, a lot of emotions come up, and you got to deal with them shits head on. Whether that's anger, sadness, frustration, grief, whatever it is, you got to deal with it. So I'm dealing with it, right? Tomorrow's going to be a better day. It's going to be a better day by the time we get through the show. Still got to do my workout, right? And I got to get better with doing the workout in the mornings. The mornings I'll be a little tired because I'm not sleeping enough at night. We're going to work this shit out, man. We're going to work this shit the fuck out. But today is day 10 of 50. And even with all of that, I'm feeling fucking divine. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling powerful. I'm feeling confident, right? Like multiple things could exist at the same fucking time because I know I'm doing this shit and I know I'm going to do this shit. I know I'm going to finish these 50 fucking days. Why? Because I said it. Because I can, right? I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. I am, right? And so like that's a non-negotiable. Like we're not breaking this fast for 50 fucking days. We're not going to eat anything. Then we're going to drink some juice. Then we're going to eat some fruit. Maybe have a smoothie, right? But we're going to get back and we're going to be able to build the muscle and build the fucking body that I've always dreamed of. And it'll be worth it. It'll be worth all of the late nights. It'll be worth all of the fucking tears. It'll be worth all of the fucking doubt. It's going to be worth it when we get to the end result. And when we get to $50 million, it's going to be fucking worth it because it's like, holy shit. And everybody, like I feel ignored. I feel ignored. There are people who I consider friends who I sent the message to. I feel ignored. They see the social media posts. They don't say nothing. They like it. They watch the stories. They don't say nothing. But feelings are not facts. So I breathe. I let it go. I'm going to call people. I'm going to text people, right? Starting tomorrow more directly. Hey, what's going on? Such and such. Did you get my message? Listen, I need your support. Can you help me? Right? Can you help us? Can you join this mission? Right? Can you join this mission? And I know it'll be a more favorable response. I know that. Right? So feelings are not facts. Right? But I feel fucking ignored. And I'm like, why the fuck are you ignoring me? Why are y'all fucking ignoring me? Y'all see me posting this shit. Y'all see me talking about this shit. One reason may be most don't believe it can happen. Most don't believe it can happen. Right? And so I get into my shit. Right? I get into my shit and I'm like, yo, this person $20. I believe that they could send more. But let me not do that. That's ego. That's selfishness. I'm not gonna do that, right? But like, damn, cool, thank you. I am grateful. I am grateful because you could have said nothing, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And uh, one of the reasons I'm committed to getting my personal self, my personal finances to a certain level is to show people what you do with money if you really care about people. Give that shit the fuck away, right? Give it away. Give it to the people who need it, to the people who are doing the great things, right? But again, everybody's mindset is different. Everybody's heart space is different. And so I know right now I may be just fucking rambling and talking about shit that don't even fucking make sense. But it's what I feel. And like I said, tomorrow gonna be better. By the time the show is done, it's gonna be better. But tonight we're gonna talk about your environment. Tonight, day 10, we're gonna talk about the power of your environment. This is something that I know all too well. How your environment shapes you, how your environment trains you, how your environment conditions you. And environment is one of the reasons why so many people stay stuck. They stay stuck in the same environment, right? But before we do that, let us do a little grounding. Please ground with me, just if you can. If you're safe, sit straight up. Allow your feet to be planted firmly on the floor beneath you. If you can close your eyes, close your eyes. If not, just soften your gaze just a moment, just for a bit. And I just want you to repeat the mantra silently in your mind. I can, I will, I must, I am. Repeat that 3-4 times silently in your mind. Once again, I can, I will, I must, I am. And then, still with your eyes closed, just give yourself a neck roll, sway your neck rather side to side. If you can, just lift your arms above your head, reach for the sky, still with your eyes closed. Reach for the sky, reach for the sky, reach, 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 reach. Remembering to breathe. Come down, put your hands together, prayer mode, put them to your chest, and just silently give thanks. Express gratitude for something that you are grateful for, silently in your own mind. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh, when you are ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes, move your toes, move your fingers, roll your neck all around in a circle, 2 times one way, 2 times the other way. Come back to the space. Thank you for joining me on in that grounding experience. KK said discipline is good on you. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, we're gonna jump into it, man. Tonight, once again, we're talking about environment, and specifically how your environment is programming you every single fucking day. Every single day. Excuse me. We got some, drink some of the spring water today. How your environment is programming you. All right. Have you or do you know anybody, right? Because some of us, like, this was me for many times, for many years in many different capacities. And I know people that if they were in a different environment, they would change. Like, have you ever or know someone who's tried to change their lives, but everything around them stayed the same? Same people, same habits, same environment. And somehow you or somebody ended up back in the same fucking position, ended up exactly where you started, where you said you didn't want to go back to, where you said you wouldn't return to. I want you to understand how your environment is shaping your behavior, it's shaping your mindset, and it is shaping your future. It is shaping who you are becoming. There was one of the sisters who I know online, right? I don't know her in person, but online. I mentioned it on, I think, one of my SR Daily shows. She was talking about she volunteers at a juvenile detention center, and how some of the young people, right, they had a mask making thing. She was like, they were talking about, what's gonna happen when they go home. She said, well, what if, they were talking about change. She said one of the young people was talking about, what if I go home and the only thing that changed was me? And that shit hit me because when I came home from prison, I was gone for 3 years. My mindset changed drastically. My body changed, right? Like I was a lot stronger. I was heavier, but I was stronger, right? I had written a book, written a film in prison, right? And so like so much is different. My vision is different. I was writing poetry for, a year and a half, 2 of the years in prison, right? Like so much different, so much changed. But I went back and so much stayed the same. My mother was doing the same things. My sisters were doing the same things, right? My friends were doing the same things. My environment was exactly the same. And even though when I came home, I didn't plan to sell drugs. I didn't plan to go back to the streets. That wasn't like a plan. I'm going home and I'm going back to get this money. I tried to get a job. I didn't hustle as soon as I came home. Where some people come home and they hustle, they back on the streets the next day, same week, right? Next week. I came home in March. I got a job in like April. I got a job. May. I think I got a job in May, right? Because I worked for like a month, all right, give or take. I worked till like June. So I got a job. I struggled. I stayed home. I chilled. I relaxed. I was committed. Like, we're gonna figure it out. We'll get a job and just do this thing, right? But I left my job, right? And same environment, even though I'm living in Long Island. My mom still lives in Queensbridge, so I'm coming to Queensbridge to see my mom regularly. And I fall back into the streets, and now I'm hustling again. Now I almost got arrested 3 fucking times. Got arrested once for shooting a music video on the roof, right? That was when my life was already different, though. But when my life was still, I got arrested for trespassing, right? And they have come out of a building. They said they saw me do something. They didn't find nothing, so went to the precinct, right? Went to the bookings, but came home, right? No bid, no charge, no nothing, right? Just trespassing, criminal trespassing, all right? But environment, like family environment, neighborhood, same shit. It pulls you back in, right? Like the shit is insane. Is insane. It's insane how powerful your environment is, right? So most people don't understand is that your environment is programming you. Most people don't get that. They think they're just living somewhere. They think, oh, it's no big effect. No, it's fucking programming you. Like, there's a reason why companies spend so much on marketing, so much to market to you, so much to promote to you, because although you take an environment of 1,000 young people and you flood drugs, yes, everybody's not going to sell drugs. Everybody's not. Yes. But a good deal of the people are going to fall into that trap. And a good deal of people that fall into that trap are going to impact the rest of the people who don't, whether it's me as a son falls into that trap, impacting my mother, my siblings in some kind of way, whether it's, right, whatever it is, you are impact, your environment impacts you, and then you in turn impact others. And so now as a result, we got the communities that we got: impoverished, losing hope, no hope, right? Sick mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, right? From what you see, what you hear, what you're around, and what you fucking consume, what you're eating, right? And what you consume is everything. Is what you hear, is what you see, is what you eat, right? Is what you think, is what you feel, is this fucking chemicals. Your environment is programming you every single day. Either it's programming you to live long and prosper, or it's programming you for self-destruction, one way or another, right? Your thoughts are shaped by your environment. Your habits are shaped by your environment. Your identity is shaped by your environment. How many people do you know that were once children and they were great children? They were vibrant. They were loving. They loved to dance. They loved to sing. They loved to perform. They loved to build things. They loved to do puzzles. They loved to play games. And then they got into the streets and they became shooters. They became hustlers. They became prostitutes. They became people who sell their bodies, people who sell drugs. They became people who destroyed the community that once saw them as so innocent, so pure, so loving, so beautiful, so handsome, so sweet. How does that happen? How does that happen? Your environment shapes your identity. That's how. Your environment, and this speaks to the argument of nature versus nurture, What's more powerful, your nature or your nurture? How you were born, your DNA, that has an impact. But your environment can change your fucking DNA. You can change your DNA. Epigenetics is real, but your environment is fucking powerful, especially when you take into account all of the subliminal conditioning, the music, the TV, right? The conversation that you overhear, the smells in your neighborhood, what you see every day. Like, that shit breaks you down. It breaks you down. It can make you lose hope in yourself, hope in your environment, hope in your family. It can make you lose hope in fucking humanity. The environment is extremely powerful, and it shapes who you become. So, like, you don't just live in your environment. The environment lives in you. Like, you consume that shit. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. If you consume chaos all day, if you consume chaos and uncertainty and angst and violence, what's going to be inside of you? Anxiety, angst, violence, chaos. Make it make sense, right? Like, so it's just so deep, right? Because I know some great people who lost their lives because they didn't have another place to go. So one of the things I was so fortunate to have was, as a youth, Fresh Air Fund, right? Going to Pennsylvania every summer, stay with a white family that just introduced me to a whole different life, horseback riding and fucking farming, right? Like on a bigger scale, like chickens and fucking cows and all type of shit. Then I was fortunate to have my aunt in Long Island, my grandfather in South Jamaica, Queens, who had houses, my uncle in Far Rockaway, right? Like my sister's grandmother in Cambria Heights, right? I was fortunate to have family. My father, who we traveled, right? We traveled often, long road trips, right? I was fortunate to have family in Atlanta, go fly in Atlanta. First flight by myself, fucking 9 years old or so, 8, 9 years old, when I'm playing by myself in the 90s. It was crazy, right? And I got first fucking class. It was crazy. But I was fortunate to be able to leave my environment. Everybody doesn't have that ability. So, as even though I got in trouble, I was able to pull from and committing to transform my life. I was able to pull from these different experiences, right? With so many people there is limited, right? Their life view is very limited because whatever reason they don't have family south, or their family south, or their family in another place. Their parents don't fuck with them like that, so they don't go see them that often, right? If at all. So they stay stuck in their neighborhood, they stay stuck in their city, they stay stuck exactly where they are. Even hearing all these sirens, hearing these sirens consistently programs you, and it trains you and conditions you to think about danger. Somebody's sick, somebody's hurt, something is happening. Right? Somebody's sick, somebody's hurt, or something is happening. Too many fucking sirens and they're too fucking loud. This is the environment that we're in, and it's training us, it's programming us, it is fucking conditioning us. All right. So I want you to know, all right, because the truth of it is that your brain is constantly adapting to your surroundings, right? And that's called neuroplasticity. And earlier on SR Daily, we spoke about positive and negative neuroplasticity, right? That's what we spoke about earlier today. Your brain wires itself based on repeated experiences. So if you're around negativity, chaos, unhealthy habits, your brain normalizes that. Like, this is just what to expect. This is just what happens. And how many people do you hear say that? Oh, this is just how it is. This is just what happens in the hood. We don't got to kill each other. We don't got to sell drugs to each other. We don't got to violate each other, beat each other up, rob each other. We don't have to do that. But if that's all that you see, that's all that you heard, that's all that you've consumed, or not all, but that's what you consume so much of, your brain wires itself to that. And now you expect that. So now it took me a long time, and I still sometimes look over my shoulder for brothers walking behind me. Right? If a brother's walking behind me and I'm in a certain neighborhood, I'm still looking over my shoulder. Why? Because I was conditioned that way. And not even so much that because I got robbed so much, because I've seen it so much. And I've done it to people. Right? Like, this shit is deep. This shit is really, 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 really deep. Behavioral psychology shows that your environment heavily influences your habits. You have the cue, the routine, and the reward loop. The cue, what's going on? Oh, shit. The routine, this is what I'm going to do about it. And then this is the reward I get. And then there's a freaking loop, literally. Studies show that people are more likely to adopt behaviors of those around them. You ever heard the term, or the phrase rather, hang in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut? If you hang in a barbershop long enough, you are going to get a haircut. It's facts. It's absolute facts. If you hang in a barbershop long enough, you are going to get a haircut. Absolutely factual. All right. Hang around people long enough, you're going to do the thing. And so even when I came home, right, and I'm working and I'm still hanging in the block and all these sirens are still going, ah, and I'm hanging on the block and I'm hanging around my friends and I'm not hustling, what happened? This is what we talk about, the comfort. I leave the job, right? I quit because I'm like, I can make more money on the block because the block is there. Eventually, I'm hustling again, and that goes for so many different things. You hang around people who, and again, it takes a very strong mind, and it takes a really strong conviction, spirit of conviction, to say, I don't give a fuck what nobody's doing. I'm not doing that no more. And even then, you can fall. Even then, you can fall. Right now, you don't always fall, but sometimes you can. So I want you to know that your environment doesn't just influence you to do things, or it's an influence. No, it fucking trains you to think a certain way, to respond a certain way, to behave a certain way, right? And that makes change feels really fucking hard. Why? Because you are trying to grow, but your environment is the same. You are trying to grow. Back to what the young person told the sister, what if I go home and the only thing that changed is me? I don't think you all understand how real that is. What if when I go home from this group home, from this detention center, and the only thing that changes me, I want to grow, but every single thing is the same. The same people outside doing the same things, my parents in the house doing the same things. Understand that you are fighting against constant reinforcement. You're trying to eat better, but surrounded by unhealthy options. You're trying to think differently, but surrounded by negative conversations. I beat myself up back in 2018 for a while when my brother passed. My brother Anthony passed, right? May he rest in peace. Came home from jail, stage 4 cancer. Doctor said he had 4 weeks to live. He lived almost 2 years. I connected him with my mentor, my big brother, over in Puerto Rico. At the time, he was in St. Thomas, Baba Heru Shango, who studied with Dr. Sabi, who studied with Dr. Lila Africa, who studied with Queen Afua 30 years ago, right? 20, 30, 40 years ago. He's fucking holistic body consultant. He's fucking great at what he does. Connected him. He got my brother on the right regimen, right? The tumor was shrinking. My brother's tumor was shrinking. He went to the hospital. He said, yo, the tumor is shrinking, doc. Call me your doc. Tumor shrinking. But what happened, he was losing weight. And he was 63 at the time, right? 62, 63. And know that black men, black people, that age group associate weight with health. So if you're too skinny, you're unhealthy, right? So they'd rather you be fat and say you're eating good, but if you're too slim, even if you fit, even if you're extremely healthy, they'll look at it and say you're unhealthy. So my brother was losing weight. Mind you, tumor shrinking, but he's losing weight, living in the house with my sister. Shout out to my sister for being there. But she was still cooking the same food. She still had all of the sodas, all of the fucking toxic snacks, the poison, still had all of the shit, still cooking all of the foods. And what happened? Because he was losing so much weight so fast, tumor shrinking, eating completely differently. First time eating this way in his whole entire life, right? First time taking these herbs in his whole entire life, but he's getting healthier. He's fucking beating cancer. Tumor shrinking. But what happens? Afraid. Comfort is easy. Sis is here, same soda, same food. Started eating the same shit again. Within 3 weeks, tumor fucking quadrupled in size. Then he was in hospice. Then he died. All within about a month and a half. Trying to change. But the people around you are doing the same exact things. It's like trying to heal in the place that hurt you. It's like trying to heal in the same place that hurt you. Very fucking difficult. Not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's not probable. Understand that? It's not impossible, but it's not probable. Most people will fall, and you cannot blame them and say, oh, they just wasn't strong enough. Like, I would never do that. Like, I would never look at my friends and say they just wasn't strong enough. They just didn't want it bad enough. No, I'm going to say for whatever reason, my brain learned these different skills, and I was able to, like, be in the same environment, right? And although at first I fell, I was able to come back. I'm in the same neighborhood and I'm not selling drugs. I ain't sell drugs in 18 years, right? I wasn't involved in street life in 18 years, and I still go out there and I still hang with my friends. Not as much as I did a couple years ago when I was drinking, right? Because I was like, but even then I was drinking, but I wasn't thinking about hustling. Even though they're doing it around me, even though they're counting thousands of dollars around me. And I leave quick. I'm like this, and the more I don't leave because I'm tempted. I leave because I don't want to get caught up in no shit. I don't want no cops coming. I don't want no beef coming. And I actually don't want to be around this shit. I don't want to see y'all poison the fucking neighborhood, right? So yeah, man, it's very hard to heal in the same place that hurt you. Some people could do it, and some people just need to learn more, which that's something we need to teach. So we're gonna talk about 3 levels of your environment, right? We're talking about your physical environment, your social environment, and a big one lately, the last 10, 20 years, specifically the last 10 years, your digital environment. So your physical environment is what's around you, right? It's your home, it's your neighborhood, it's your space, right? I know I can do a much better job of cleaning my space, right? Last few years, I've been overwhelmed almost my whole life, but specifically the last 4 years with the shit with my children, and shit has me sometimes not giving a fuck, right, about the living space. And then I get back up, right, like still doing things, so not claiming depression because I'm still doing things I need to do. But yeah, man, things get a little out of hand, right? So physical environment, your social environment, who you spend time with, understand that energy is contagious. Energy is contagious. Like I cannot spend, and I wish I could. My mother, I can't spend too much time with my mother. I love my mother. My mother watches bullshit a lot. Her conversations, like I got to drop the conversation, or is mostly gossip in the neighborhood. Who did what? Who said what happened with who? Like, now again, like I could take it if I wanted to and not, but I don't want to most times, right? Like, so I got to drop the conversation, right? Like your social environment, who you spending time with. They said they said you could tell a lot about a person by the 5 people they spend the most time with. Who are you? I can tell a lot. I can tell who you are by who you're spending your time with. You're spending your time with negative people, low vibrational people, talking about fighting, talking about drama. I unfollow. We're gonna ask the question later, right? What's something in your environment you're willing to let go of, or you're willing to change? All right. One thing I did today, I unfollowed some accounts. People I know personally, people who I got love for, people who got love for me, people who they see me as mad love. But like I'm watching their pages and it's fights and it's drama and I'm like, I don't want to see that on my fucking shit. Like I don't want to go across my timeline and see that. Some people are just muted their notifications, like their content. Some people are completely unfollowed, unfriended, right? Facebook and Instagram. TikTok, I'm following most like cool creators, right? Content creators, food creators, right? Food content creators, food lovers. But yeah, man. And then the third environment is your digital environment. What do you consume? Which is what I'm talking about. What do you consume daily? Your social media, TV. What are you watching? You watch gossip. You watch fucking reality TV that's full of drama. Like, what are you consuming? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Right? What information are you taking in? Because the information that you take in is forming you. The information that you take in is forming you from within. Let me say that one more time. The information that you take in is forming you from within. It's forming your identity. It's forming your thought process. It's forming your feelings. It's forming your aura and your energy. And so now you wonder why you're attracting drama. You wonder why this thing keeps happening to you or close to you or around you. Because you attracting that shit by consuming that shit. You are what you consume. You are what you consume. Please, please, please understand that, and understand that. You are what you eat. Yes, right? Eating meaning you're consuming. You are what you consume, what you listen to, what you see, right? Product of your environment. You hear that. We've heard that phrase before. Product of your environment. Most people become product of their environment, unfortunately, right? And yes, your phone is an environment. Your phone is absolutely an environment. But the good news, it's always good news. It's always, always, always good news. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't got to change overnight. You got to start small. Clean your fucking space, right? Every time I clean my space, I feel better. I feel more vibrant, more alive, more connected, more accomplished. Change what the fuck you watch. Change what you watch. Like I stopped a long time ago. Like, and I never really been into. I mean, I think when I was in prison, I watched the I Love New York series, the Flavor Flav series, right? I love Flavor of Love or whatever it was. I watched that when I was in prison, right? And then at one point I stopped watching it. Right, came home. I used to watch Jerry Springer and Maury and all of this shit. You Are Not the Father and the drama, and I stopped watching that shit. Right, like change what you watch, clean your space, change what you watch, change what you listen to. Right, limit certain conversations. I remember one time telling my mother, she was so upset. I don't want to hear about that shit. I don't want to hear about this person and that person and what you saw and what happened in the neighborhood. Like especially when I'm coming talking to you about one thing and you change the topic when it comes to you talk about something completely different. I don't want to hear that shit. So limit certain conversations, right? Limit certain conversations, which also means limiting the content that you engage with, right? Like what you watch, what you see, what you look at, what you listen to, and add one positive influence. For me, the most positive thing I've added the last years was, I mean, it was a lot, right? Meditation, exercising, but specifically it was YouTube talks. I got so many, I get 10 to 20 a day uh, uh, um, suggestions for YouTube videos, all inspiration and empowerment and motivation, all of it, from Les Brown to Eric Thomas to Eddie Pinero to freaking Lisa Nichols to Oprah Winfrey to like so many different people, right? Mona listens to fucking Mel Robbins and sends me stuff. I got that is so many, and that's YouTube. So many on Facebook. Jay Shetty and Jim Quick and Tony Robbins, and it's so many. Like that has been one of the biggest things that I've done in my life that has helps to shift and keep me on track. Right, so small shifts in your environment lead to big shifts in behavior. Understand that small shifts in your environment, what you consume, what's around you, what you listen to, what you engage with, lead to big shifts in behavior. And I'm an example, right? There are many other examples, but I am an example. From diet changing to lashing out to emotional outbursts to violent behavior, right? To like, I am a big to like just falling asleep. Like narcoleptic at one point. Me and Ray used to be talking, fall asleep on them in a heartbeat, right? Like no more, right? Like when I'm going to bed, I'm going to lay down and I can fall asleep quick, right? But it's not like in the middle of a conversation when I'm talking and it's like, because I'm fucked up and I'm out of it and I'm not happy and I'm overwhelmed with life. No, right? So small shifts in your environment lead to big shifts in behavior. So when you change your environment, what happens? You change your environment, your behavior starts to follow. And this reminds me of when I was in a program at 17 years old. They put out it was something, people, places, and things. It was like, if you want to change, you can no longer hang with the same people in the same places doing the same things. And then as a youth, I tried to say, okay, I'm with the same people, but in the same place, but I'm not doing the same thing. And eventually, I was doing the same thing. And so even when I'm hanging around different people, but I'm in the same place, I'm doing the same thing. Right? Not change. Even when I'm in a different place and I'm hanging with the same people or different people, I'm doing the same thing. No, you got to change it all. People, places, and things, let it go. Change your environment. Change what you listen to. Change the conversations that you engage with. Change what you watch. Change what content you consume. Change what you read. Right? Clean your fucking space. Maybe you got to move to another city. How many people you know moved and their life greatly improved? Their health improved. Right? They seem more vibrant, more alive. Right? More happy, more at peace. Sometimes you gotta fucking leave your environment. That's what we've been trying to tell our mother for fucking years, and she won't leave her environment. And I don't know what to do to get my mother to leave Queensbridge. And maybe she'll never leave Queensbridge. And I gotta detach myself from that desire because me and my sisters want her to have a better life. And we know that she will have a better life if she leaves Queensbridge and was gone even for a year. Right? Pay the rent. You go for a year, just stay away. But like a year, like you ain't coming back. The apartment is gone. Right? We trick her ass. Right? It's no more apartment. Right? Or like switch that shit up. Because I want to make it. I actually want to keep the apartment in Queensbridge and make it a museum. I want to make it a museum of my life. Right? Yeah, I want to do that. It's never been done before, but it should be done. There are people who come from public housing who are great. Nas, Jay-Z, so many fucking others, right? Have come from public housing. They are absolutely fucking great on so many different levels. Their apartments, I think, should be historical museums, right? Learn about that person. How did they become who they are, right? What were some of their experiences, right? Because people come fucking New York and they want to go to Nas building just to see the building. They want to go to the floor. This is where he lived and taking pictures on the floor by his apartment. People have shot music videos next, like on his floor, 4016 Vernon Boulevard, right? I forgot what floor, 3, I think, 3 or 4. But yeah, man, right? Change the environment, your behavior starts to follow. And this is why all of this shit connects. Neural soul is the understanding. Gives you the understanding. The meditation is the regulation. The discipline is the action, and the environment is the reinforcement. The environment is going to help you stay on course. It's going to help you stay disciplined. It's going to help you remember to meditate. It's going to help you where you may not need to regulate your fucking nervous system so much when you're in a better, more peaceful, more calm, more loving, more whole environment, right? It's going to foster. So like how change becomes sustainable. They all work together. They all work together. So I want to ask a question to those who are tuned in, right? I got 4 people, I believe, right now tuned in. What in your environment right now is helping you grow and what's holding you back? What in your environment right now is helping you grow and what is holding you back? Take a moment to think. What in your environment is helping you grow and what is holding you back? I want to say so much is helping me grow. So much helped me grow. My friends help me grow, right? Kimona helps me grow, right? Some of my friends definitely help me grow. My social media content helps me grow, right? I definitely have I'm following some great accounts, even though there's a couple of bullshit accounts I'm wrestling with unfollowing some I really know and I really love, and they may post some great things, but for the most part, I follow some great accounts and I follow some great people who are posting great content, informative content that's really helping me. I shall read some of the shit on my shows, right? SR Daily and Sunday Light, right? But yeah, my friends, my network, let me say that, my network, real life network and social network, digital network is helping me grow. It was holding me back. What in my environment is holding me back? This space is holding me back. So even though it's tough to pack up and leave, it's necessary. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the unknown because I've done great things here, but I haven't really grown exponentially the way I need to. So the space is keeping me, it's holding me back. And yeah, so before tomorrow, right? It's a challenge now. I answer that question to before tomorrow, change one thing in your environment. Whether that's clean your space, right? Unfollow certain fucking social accounts, reach out to someone positive, right? Remove something unhealthy. Remove alcohol, remove that food that you know that you don't need to be eating. Yeah, I know this shit ain't good for me, but it's so good. What? I get it, but what? Like, when I think about that, even to myself at one point, I was like, what? Like, me and Kimona earlier was talking earlier. So there was black vegans, and they're doing a cruise and vegan, right? And then she's like, well, when are they gonna have alcohol? Probably will, right? Well, how do people drink? All right, you've never drank, you don't get it, right? Like some people who drink is like we rationalize. I've done it. It was like, well, yeah, I drink alcohol. And I know it's not the best for me, but I eat my vegetables, I eat fruits, and life is about balance, right? But it's unhealthy. So like, if I'm about health, if my goal is to be healthy, then I need to remove everything that's unhealthy. So again, clean the space, your kitchen, your living room, your bathroom, right? Your closet, your drawers, right? Like unfollow those accounts that are not adding value to your life, that are not benefiting you. Unfollow them regardless of how long you've known them. If they're not adding benefit, right? Unfollow them. You haven't interacted, they haven't engaged, you don't engage with them, right? Whatever the case may be, unfollow them. Reach out to someone positive, remove something unhealthy. Just one shift goes a long way. Just one shift goes a long way. Just one shift. And with that mindset, please know that you cannot expect a new life with the same environment. You cannot expect to create, to cultivate, to have a new life with the same environment. As the saying goes, in order to get everything you've ever wanted, you gotta be willing to let go of everything you have. In order to get something you've never done, that you've never had, you're willing to let go of everything that you have. You got to be willing to let it go. Put that shit behind you. put that shit behind you, let that shit go. Right, I get a notification. I got a meeting. I got a meeting in an hour. 10:45 meeting, Zoom meeting. But yeah, man. Right, you cannot expect a new life with the same environment. Growth requires new conditions. And even though when I first came home and I was in Queensbridge, and even though I did fall back in the streets for that first year and a half, 07 June to 08 October, early November, before I was like, this ain't it. I'm letting this shit go. And I've been clean as a whistle ever since. I credit a big part of that to being able to go to Long Island, to my aunt's house, being able to have a different home life, right? It just felt different in the house. My aunt cared. We sat down, we ate together, right? We ate together, we cooked together. Just it was peaceful being able to sit in the backyard and look at the stars. And even though I was still drinking and smoking and had back injury, and even though I was still hustling and I had a gun and I had drugs and I would go to Queensbridge and I would hustle, being able to go back there, being able to have that environment helped me tremendously. As Dennis Muhammad, who is the founder of the Peacekeepers, once said, Dennis Muhammad is Muslim. He was once the head security of Minister Louis Farrakhan. May he continue to thrive and live as long as possible, right? He says 60 minutes of doing something is better than 24 hours of doing nothing. And I equate it to that way. Even if I would just go to sleep and wake up in Long Island, because some days I just went home, went to sleep, woke up, showered, got dressed, head back out. Those 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, however long that time was before I got in. Let's say I get in the crib at 11 at night, 1 in the morning, and I don't go back out until 11 the next day, right? That whatever time frame I was grateful to have in Long Island. And there was sometimes when I spent days just at home in Long Island, and my aunt and I would go, we had a cleaning company. We would go and we would do jobs for the cleaning company, right? That my dad built many years before and it's gone now, right? But we would do that, different environment. Those new conditions helped me grow. Those new conditions, going to pick my niece up from school, going to pick my nephews up from school, going to drop them off at school, going to get ice cream with them, and going to have breakfast with them. Like that, those different conditions allow me to grow in ways that, if without them, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. Probably wouldn't be here, right? Like even if I wanted to change. And then, like, environment is strong, man. And so yeah, that is our talk for tonight. Tomorrow we're going to talk about something even deeper. We're going to go deeper to something that sits right underneath everything we've been talking about so far. Tomorrow we're talking about habits and identity, right? And of course, like, this shit is in sequential order, right? Your environment can build your habits, build your identity, right? Like, so yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get into it, habits and identity, how habits form, how they stick, right? How habits form, how habits stick, and how you actually become a different person over time. You was one way, you became a completely different way. There's so many people who say, how did I become so unhealthy? How did I become so violent? How did I find myself in this position? How did I become as a person, or the type of person that allowed their partner to beat them, to use them, to abuse them? How did I become like this? This is not who it's not who I am. It's not who I've been. How did I become like this? So we're gonna unlock it, unpack it all tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go get this workout in before I gotta do this meeting. Work out as much as possible, get as many steps in and stuff like that. Get this shit done. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please share this live. Please share this. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Tomorrow we back 9 p.m. every single day for the next 40 days, right? 39 days. Today's day 10, 40 more days. We here. It's lit. It's going down. If you got funds, contribute to the campaign. $10, $100, $1,000, whatever you got, it all contributes. We got some things that we need to buy like soon so we can create more content. We can do more to build, continue to build, right? We need software to continue to build the vision, continue to build the mission. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.